Welcome back, and joining us right now from Des Moines, Iowa, the center of the political universe, John Gizzi, Newsmax chief Washington correspondent. And John will be here with Newsmax TV throughout the night to give us live reports on the ground in Iowa. It's great to have you with us, John.
Great to be here, John. Thanks for having me. I'm speaking to you today from the 95-year-old Des Moines Club overlooking Polk County, which of course is the home of Des Moines, the largest base of votes in the caucuses that will begin shortly.
Appropriate, since we're going to talk about voter turnout here.
We are. We're going to get back to you in just a moment, John, but one of the big storylines out tonight is turnout, right? We've been talking about, but first a primer on why it matters and how it could play such a huge role in tonight's outcome in the Republican caucuses. Again, according to the final Des Moines Register poll, one of the most accurate predictors of the outcomes in recent cycles, Trump has 28% support. Cruz has 23%, as you can see. Rubio sits in third with 15%. Ben Carson sits in fourth at 10%. Rand Paul is at 5%. Chris Christie takes 3%. And Jeb Bush, Carly Fiorina, Mike Huckabee, Rick Santorum, and John Kasich are all tied with just 2%. So now in 2012, a record 121,503 Republicans caucused in Iowa. Rick Santorum edged out Mitt Romney, with the results delayed for a few days because the vote count was so tight. Now, here's where turnout will be key today. Experts say if the turnout is below 121,000, it will mean that Ted Cruz will have an advantage. The reason, his supporters, as John mentioned earlier, are experienced and have caucused in the past. But if it's more than 121,000, that gives Trump the advantage. That will be a sign that all those people who showed up to his rallies actually went out to the caucuses. Anything more than 135,000 means we have a real Trump movement in the works. There.
Even so, Miranda, the average turnout for primaries and caucuses tends to be about 17 to 20% of eligible voters. And this is according to the Iowa Caucus Project at Drake University. And traditionally, it's been even lower than that on the Republican side. So that means one, maybe 2 out of every 10 registered Republicans are going to be showing up there to determine the outcome tonight. Okay, Mr. Gizzi, you've been tracking the Iowa caucuses, talking to voters there. What kind of feeling are you getting about the turnout tonight?
The turnout is probably going to break the 2012 ceiling, and part of that is the Trump appeal, part of it is the organization of Ted Cruz, and I think a very interesting fact to note, and I want you to hold on to this until tonight. Dr. Christopher Hull, who has written a book on the history of the Iowa caucuses, notes that this year 51% of Trump supporters never went to a caucus before. On the other hand, 51% of Ted Cruz's supporters say they've been to past caucuses. Very revealing, but what it adds up to, novices and veterans both are going to be turning out tonight, and no snow has started yet, and that's going to lead to a turnout that transcends 2012.
You knew what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you about that weather because we've been hearing about this winter storm looming, and I thought that might have an impact on there. But you're saying it's looking okay right now?
It's looking okay now. The meteorologists are saying it will start at 3 a.m., and I'm going to say a couple of prayers when I get up that it doesn't gather because I have a 7 a.m. flight.
Ooh, keeping my fingers crossed for you. That can be brutal. I used to live in Iowa, and those winter storms can be a little rough. Well, earlier this morning, Donald Trump held a rally in Waterloo, Iowa. Let's take a look at that.
Win, lose, or draw, I love you folks all. I love you all. It's been the kind of crowds we've gotten, the kind of reception we've had, and but tonight, it really is. It's crunch time.
Oh, crunch time indeed, but Dan Pfeiffer, one of the architects of President Obama's presidential victory and his victory in Iowa, tweeted this: Trump holding a rally on caucus day is a sign he doesn't understand field. Every staffer volunteer should be doing get out the vote. Well, Trump's defied normal logic thus far, John, with about 30 seconds left to go. Will Trump keep defying logic, and will he beat the expectations of his poll numbers tonight?
I never thought I'd say this about an Iowa caucus, John, but it really doesn't matter. When there's genuine fervor, some slips and stumbles by the campaign won't be that much in terms of the mechanics. The numbers will make that irrelevant if Trump's support is truly what it seems anecdotally. On the other hand, My parting shot at you is keep your eye on Marco Rubio.
Okay.
When I talked to him Sunday, he said we would do very well, and there seems to be a coalescing from the establishment. One Republican who is truly neutral in the race, he's chairing a precinct caucus tonight, said there's been some movement among some more venerable Republicans and people who've been in the party for a while toward the senator from Florida.
All right, we'll look forward to that. A Rubio finish, even in third place, anywhere close to the top two contenders will be huge for him moving ahead to New Hampshire, and he needs that. John Gizzi, look forward to more of those reports coming to us live throughout the evening here on Newsmax TV from Iowa. And please, John, good luck with the snow. Hopefully you get out of there in time.
I can't wait to report.
All right, we'll see you then. All right, we're going to take a look at the art of persuasion coming up. A couple of tactics used in the last minute by some of the candidates, creating some controversy. We'll talk about that with our roundtable right after this.